Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video. In this video we are going to look about the list and its operations. In the last video we have already discussed about what is the list is and how we perform several operations as well, and we also looked about some indexing as well, like positive indexing and negative indexing as well, right? So in the last video, if you haven't watched it, you can watch it. I have attached it in this description. And let's get started with the list. We already know that list is a collection which is ordered and changeable, right? We have discussed about the list and tuple as well. In the upcoming videos we'll be discussing about tuple, but for now we have seen the example of a list, right? We can contain so many values, different types of values, whether it may be a same type or even maybe the different type. So we can change the values intermediately. Let's like if you have a list of 1 to 10 numbers, if you want to change those numbers in mid of the program, you can change them. Then you can say the word called changeable, right? So in case of the tuples and some of the data structures we have in Python, we can't change the values intermediately. Once it was declared, it will be static, right? That's the difference we have in list, and also the flexibility given by the list of Python is the thing which we can use in several data structures we are going to use and restructure our program. So now let's create a simple list called li is equal to, let's take some fruits, banana, apple and orange. So we have a list called li with the contents banana, apple and orange, right? So let's take a look about the list. Let's print it and we can see the output. We are having a list called, let me change this to current file, and now let's run it. You can see the list of values banana, apple and orange, right? We have clear cut output about the list. We have the contents as banana, apple and orange. So let's perform some of the operations we have in Python. Let's say like accessing elements. Accessing elements of list. Whatever elements we have already seen the list, so we have known about the elements in it, like elements in the sense the components we have in the list. So we have already accessed, let's say we have seen the output, so we know the contents. If you don't know the contents in the list, we can access by asking its index. Okay, let's see how we can access a list. Let's assume you want to access a list of li with its index of 1. If you run it, you'll get apple as your output, because at the index value of 1 we have apple. We already seen the indexing values in the last video. Like let's say for banana it will be starting 0, the second thing will be having 1 and the last thing will be having 2. So here the index value follows I minus 1, the position minus 1. If the first position 1 minus 1 0, the index always start from 0 to many. So this is nothing but about the positive indexing. Let's have a look about the picture how we have to use the indexing as well. Let me show you the picture. So here you go, we can see the indexing values of list. From the left to right we will be having the positive indexing, whereas from right to left we will be having negative indexing, right? So the positive indexing always starts from the value 0, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 so on. In the same way, in the backward direction we will be having minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. The first element will be minus 6, whereas the last element will be minus 1. In the case of negative indexing, whereas in the positive indexing the first value will be, the index value of first value is 0, whereas the last value will be n minus 1. The position minus 1 is nothing but the positive indexing value. So it's that simple. So that's the overall idea and planning behind the indexing of lists or anything, any containing, like the container values will be looking more container values like list, right? So anything about the indexing will be like that only, the positive indexing and the negative indexing. Positive indexing always starts from 0, whereas negative indexing always starts from -1. Let's assume if you want to check that, let's print a our list with the index of -1. If we run it, we'll be getting the output as orange because we have asked to print -1. The element starts with -1 index is the last element. So we'll be getting the output as orange. So that's the idea, and that's the implementation, how you use your indexing values while accessing your elements, right? So that's all for the in accessing elements of the list. Okay, let's take another example for range of indexes. We'll be having some range of indexes, right? Let's take a list again, a same list. We'll be printing from 1 to 2. Let's print this. We'll be getting the list value of apple. So what we'll be doing is from 1 to 2, this syntax will be called as range values. So from the range of 1 to 2, whatever values we'll be having will be printed. So in the range of 1 to 2, 0, 1 and 2, in the range of 1 and 2, we'll be having the values, we'll be considering only the value of 1. What we are saying, a list of range from the value of 1 to 2. So it will be considering the only value 1. Let's assume we have 0 to 2. You can see the output as banana and apple. So the 0 value and the 1 value, in the range of 0 and 2, we have the values 0 and 1. So it will be ignoring the last value, last but one value you will be getting. So this is called as range. We will be calling it as range. We can use it in loops as well. We will be using several examples for that, so don't worry about it for now. So print a list of 0 to 2. The values, whatever values within the range of 0 to 2 index, will be having except the ending value range. So it will be ignoring the value, range value for the last element. Whatever value we have mentioned, it will be ignored. That particular element will be ignored. Okay, let's assume we have only 1, 0 and 1. We'll be having a range of 0 and 1. We'll be having only banana as our output. You can see we are having only banana as our output. So that's the thing about range. So let's talk about some new concept, like new operations of list. So we already discussed about we can change the list elements, right? We have already mentioned it in the last video as well. So let's take the chance to change the value. Let's assume I don't want apple here. Instead of apple in this place, I want monkey. Let's assume whatever value of the index of apple is an index of 1, right? Like banana is of 0, whereas apple is 1. The index value of apple element is 1. So we'll be changing the list value under index 1 as monkey. So let's print the list. Print li. If you run it, you'll be getting the value. See, for the first instance, we'll be having the values as banana, apple and orange. Whereas after changing the value, particular index value, we'll be having banana, monkey and orange. So this is how we will be representing lists. We can change the values. So we will be generally calling the list as mutable. So the concept of mutation here comes in the list. We can also check the length of the list. Some of the operations, let's say we want the length of the list, we can check like this. You can see the length of list is 3. For that purpose, we have to use len, function called length of the particular list we have. We'll be getting the output as the number value, how many elements we are having. Like banana, apple and orange, we have 3 elements. So we got the output as 3. So that's the thing about length. So now let's check another thing. let's assume we already have some concept called reverse function. We are having reverse function in Python. We are having a reverse function. Let's use it. Let's assume we have a list. Let's reverse this. Reverse. That's it. If you print the list, you can see the output here. Let me clear this. Yeah, we have to use dot operator to use reverse function for the list. If you use the reverse function for the list, we'll be printing the list as the reverse values. Orange comes first, whereas monkey comes in the same place because it is in the mid value, and whereas banana comes last. But the actual values of the list are banana, apple and orange, whereas our reverse list comes into picture here. So that's the thing about the reverse operation as well. There are a lot more functions we'll be covering on list, and as well as we'll be discussing about tuples as well in the upcoming video. So that's all for the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.